Hello everyone, this is Rachna Sharma and you are watching Foodtech Geeks, where I upload videos, lectures, tutorials, career guidance videos, exam related videos on food science and technology. So as we all are celebrating this New Year Eve, this video is the last video of this year 2021. This is a rewind video where today we will go through some of the major food science and technology highlights from the year. So let's start this. So all the news have been divided into various sections. So the number one section is Desh Vishesh, where we will be covering certain major highlights from our country. So the number one is the Rajya Sabha has approved a bill which has given a status of national institutes to two of the food tech institutes, which are NIFTM and IIFPT. So these two institutes have been declared as National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management. And from now, all the policies of national importance would be implemented in these institutions. The second one is, it is by FSSAI. So in the lieu of our Amrit Mahotsav celebration, FSSAI has come up with this initiative, which is Freedom from Trans Fat by year 2022. So FSSAI has targeted to reduce the amount of trans fat in all fats and oils up to 3% by January 2021, and it has been targeted that by January 2022 the trans fat should not be more than 2% in all fats and oils. National Low Salt Cooking Challenge. So it was again an initiative by FSSAI under Eat Right India movement. So this challenge was just to encourage people to consume less salt. So here the winning team was Na Namak, which made a Maharashtrian thali. So we know that WHO has recommended that the daily intake of salt per individual should be less than 5 gram. So during the competition, various approaches were used by the participants to decrease the amount of salt and to increase the flavor. So the number one is that we can combine the unsalted food with the salted food so that the overall salt intake could be reduced. And the second one approach which was use of various herbs and spices and various condiments like garlic powder, onion powder, and many more to increase the flavor and thus decreasing the amount of salt to be used in the food. So it is very important to reduce the amount of salt intake. So this was the challenge related to this. So the next was State Food Safety Index 2020 to 2021. So it is again an initiative by FSSAI. So it was started in 2018. So the first State Food Safety Index was announced for the year 2018 to 2019. So this year the third index was announced. So it is a measure of the performance of various states and union territories on the basis of 5 parameters. So different 5 parameters have been designed on which the performance of various states are evaluated, and these are given here, which are human resource and institutional data, compliance, food testing infrastructure and surveillance, training and capacity building, and consumer empowerment. So these are certain parameters. So the result shows that Gujarat was the first in this index, followed by Kerala and then Tamil Nadu. And if we talk about the smaller states, so Goa topped the list, and then Meghalaya and then Manipur. In the union territories, Jammu and Kashmir bagged the first rank, followed by Andaman and Nicobar Island, and Delhi came out to be at the third position. So these were the positions of various states and union territories in this state food safety index. Next is, now we have got our third national food laboratory. So it was inaugurated by FSSAI on September 29, 2021. So currently we were having two national food laboratories. One was at Ghaziabad and the other was at Kolkata. So now we are having our third national food laboratory at Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, Navha Seva, that is in Navi Mumbai. So this is the third national food laboratory, and this may be a very important question for the upcoming FSSAI exam. So just keep this in mind. Next is, now we are having a logo for vegan foods. So we know that vegan is a very trending concept nowadays. People are talking a lot about vegan. So now we are having a logo, a symbol for vegan foods. So this is how the vegan symbol looks like. It is having a V and a small plant over that. So the green colored leaf for that plant depicts that it is from a plant origin, and the V symbol is used to mark for the vegan. So this is how the symbol looks like. And this symbol was designed by a student of Masters in Food Science and Nutrition, Kruti Manish, and from Mount Carmel College, Bangalore. So the logo was designed by this student. Next is, now it is very mandatory for all the manufacturers of packaged drinking water and mineral water to have the BIS certification. And in case if they are not having the BIS certification, they will not be able to apply for their FSSAI license or for the renewable of their FSSAI license. So it is very important for all the manufacturers of packaged drinking water and mineral water to have BIS certification. So now it has been become mandatory. So with this, we have covered this Desh Vishesh section. Now we will be moving to another section, that is India in the world. So here we will be talking about the position of India in the world in terms of this food science and technology and this agriculture production. So if we talk about that, so if we talk about this statistics from year 2019 to 21, so India is the largest producer of milk, spices and pulses. It is the second largest producer of fish, food grains, fruits and vegetables, and the world's largest processor, producer and consumer of cashew nuts. And recently, just a month ago, this data has been released that now we have become number one exporter of food to Arab nations, and we have left behind Brazil. Initially, Brazil was at the first position, but now we have defeated Brazil and we have come up as a number one food supplier to Arab nations. And diplomatically, it is very important also, like we are dependent on these Arab nations for our oil and that stuff. So, and they are dependent on us for most of their food supplies. So next section is one being most trendy. Now we'll be talking about certain terms or the certain concepts which were very hype during this year. So the number one was alternative meat, the meatless meat. So I'll not be discussing it much because I guess every food technology student is very, very well aware of what exactly this alternative meat is. So now people are looking for different options for their protein sources. They are moving from the traditional meats to these alternative meats. So these are the meat analogs. That means they are the meat-like structures. Their structure, their flavor is just like the meat, but they are from the vegetarian ingredients. So the source is different, but the structure is as like as the meat. So there are various types of alternate meats like lab cultured meat, plant-based meat. So in the plant-based meat, we have the meat-like structure from the plant origin. Like for example, we can have that soya chunks. The soya chunks are also the texturized vegetable proteins which give the texture of meat like. So, and the lab cultured meats are those meat in which the real animal cells are grown in a food production plant instead of being taken out from the animal after slaughtering. So this is how the cell-based meat are produced. So this was a term which was in very, very great discussions and in research all the year, and various companies have set up for these alternative meats. And here a large number of variety of products are also there in the market which are from vegetable meats. And after that, we have the new term, that is flexitarian diet. So we are aware of many varieties of diets like vegetarian, non-vegetarian, vegan, lacto-vegetarian, ovo-vegetarian. So this is another term, that is flexitarian diet. So it is being used for a person which is primarily on a vegetarian diet, but occasionally eats meat or fish or certain non-vegetarian foods. So The concept is very simple. Like, meat is not a regular food. It will become a once in a while or just a weekend type food. And primarily the person will eat vegetarian foods, but some days he will eat that meat or that non-vegetarian foods. And this is being mostly uh, preferred by all those people who just don't want to switch on to the totally plant-based diet. So they are on a flexitarian diet, and that is why this trend has given rise to this flexitarian diet. So let me know in the comment section what are your views on this flexitarian diet. I'll be very keen to know your opinions and your views. So this was a term which was in a rise during this year. So yes, that was it. These were the major important highlights from this year related to our food science and technology. I hope you must have liked this. And so yes, a very goodbye to this 2021 and a very, very happy new year to all of you. May this year brings a lot of happiness and prosperity to all of you. Goodbye, and I wish you a very, very happy new year.